episode was like an emotional sneak attack almost. I didn't expect to get emotional at the end of this episode, really. For most of the episode, it wasn't particularly sad or melancholy. It was more tense than anything, you know. It had the last couple of minutes before the cannon was set to explode and take out everybody in Alabama. But eventually, after Usopp got kicked in the nuts and they did the craziest game of leapfrog of all time, Vivi managed to get up to the top, take out the two Baroque work members, and stop the cannon from firing. But as we learned, Crocodile set a timer on it. So even if they did manage to stop the fuse from going off at half four, it was still going to go off anyway. It would just explode in the clock tower instead of in the middle, but it would still cause massive damage, still cause millions of deaths. And, you know, it was almost Vivi's last straw. You could see this absolutely broke her. The Crocodile just kept winning, just kept fucking with them. You know, this whole time, Crocodile's almost been playing like a game with Vivi's emotions and just like manipulating her, like mentally saying how she can't save anyone, no matter what she does. She's never going to be able to stop this revelation, this rebellion. She's not going to be able to stop any of this, and all the people are going to die almost because of her. And this was the last straw, you know, even though she finally managed to achieve something and stop Crocodile from firing this cannon. Turns out the whole time it was going to explode anyway, and you could tell it really broke Vivi. The scream that she gave, shouting Crocodile's name, was crazy, man. But the thing that got me in this episode, and I think it probably got a lot of people, was Pel's sacrifice. Now, through this arc, we haven't seen a whole lot of Pel. We've just known he's been another guardian of Alabasta, similar to Chaka. But we saw a little bit of a backstory that Pel and Vivi were very close. Pel obviously cared a lot about Vivi, and he was very protective of her, to the point where she got into this armory and she injured herself, and Pel actually smacked her and said, "What if you did worse than injure yourself?" Because, you know, he was worried about her potentially killing herself or something. And he was a guardian for her, really, as well as the King of Alabasta. They used to go on flights together. Pel used to take her out flying, even though the king asked him not to, because he clearly cares for her a lot and cares and loves her and loves Alabasta. And he's somebody that chooses, instead of fighting, he chooses to protect. Because I could be wrong, but I don't believe we've really seen him fight very much in this. We saw him fight Nico Robin, but that's it, really. But he's only somebody that fights if he has to. And in this moment, he couldn't fight, but he could protect. And what he did was, yeah, very, very admirable and very heartbreaking to see, especially for Vivi. In the end, what Pel ended up doing was taking the bomb and flying all the way up into the sky and exploding, sacrificing himself, but stopping it impacting anybody in Alabama or killing anybody else. He sacrificed himself for the kingdom, for Vivi, just as his role is intended. He is the guardian of Alabasta, and he did that all the way to the end. But just the way it was sort of framed after seeing him with Vivi as a kid and Vivi's reaction to it, it just, like I said, it just hit me like an emotional ton of bricks. Like, that's the one thing with One Piece. Like, it just gets you out of nowhere. It feels like there's like a story going, and then there's all of a sudden you're invested massively into this character you didn't really even know that much about, and then it's taken, your heart gets ripped out. Like, it's One Piece does that so well, and it does it with so many different characters. It's not even necessarily the main characters or the side characters. It can be characters you've never met before, but in one episode, it can get you massively invested and then just completely destroy you. And that's what happened in this episode. Wow. It's heavy, man. But Pel literally just saved the Alabasta Kingdom, or Alabama at least, and now it's down to Luffy to defeat Crocodile. He's in a terrible position right now. He's currently poisoned, and he's really on the back foot, and Crocodile clearly has the advantage right now. But Luffy said, and he screamed at Crocodile, he's not going to stop fighting for Vivi as long as Vivi doesn't stop fighting for Alabasta, because, you know, Luffy cares so much about his friends, and he would never, ever give up on Vivi, especially knowing what she's been through. And I imagine, you know, he's seen what Toto's been through in this country as a whole, so Luffy ain't going to give up. We know that. But I feel like this fight is coming to an end soon, and I don't know how Luffy's going to pull it off, but you know, now this bomb has stopped. Now that's one of the three criteria down. Now they have to stop the Rebel and Royal Army fighting, and Luffy has to stop Crocodile, and then Alabasta will be saved. Is that enough? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm really excited about this. Also, there's a great little scene before I go with Tashigi, where she sort of like showed her commander side. You know what I mean? Like, there were a couple Baroque Works members that were trying to trick the Royal Army and be like, we've never heard of the Baroque Works, obviously lying. And then Tashigi came and killed them both, or shot them both, or sliced them both, sorry, and said to them, said to the the Royal Army, "You need to fucking use your eyes and actually take the enemy out. Don't just listen to them." I thought that was great. Tashigi is a badass, but yeah. Anyway, this episode was really, really good. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, what an emotional roller coaster. Like I think we're heading to the end of Alabasta now, and it's wow, what an incredible journey it's been. But I love this episode.